One thing I wanted to talk about with you is this story about Texas and DeSantis sending some of the illegal aliens that come over to places like Martha's Vineyard, and some of these liberal, very rich enclaves, and of course it's enraging the left. They're just losing their minds. They can't stand it. They're so angry. They don't want those folks in their neighborhoods. And I don't understand. I thought these people were the most, kindest, thoughtful people you could ever ask for. But they really want that to be something that, the deplorables, as they call them, their states, their cities, their communities, they can take care of massive influx of new immigrants that are in destitute poverty or are unaccounted for. No one knows, where some of these folks are coming from and why they're there. But you have lots of this hyperventilating going on, hyperventilation for these governors like DeSantis and Texas, sending these folks to those liberal enclaves, and they say, "Well, how could you be Christian and do this?" Soledad O'Brien, I think, said this. How could you be Christian and do this? I just can't understand it. But do what exactly? I don't understand. I mean, maybe I haven't understood their story, but how exactly is it violent if they're taking them and putting them on a plane and sending them to states that are supposedly sanctuary areas? How is that violent? How is an airplane ride violent? I don't understand. But these people are just very stupid, very hypocritical, very hateful, and very entitled. They're imperial brats, okay? The left, very rich, entitled. They don't want to deal with the people that they consider their pets. That's what this is all about. They consider those folks their pets, and they don't want to deal with them in person. They want to deal with them as their lawn care person or their construction worker for a new gazebo. And this is what Obama and these folks, they live in this decadent wealth. He became a multimillionaire because he was a good servant for corporate fascist organizations, corporate power, extracting wealth from the poor and the middle class through the Federal Reserve, their relationship with regulatory capture, to redistribute wealth from the poor and the middle class to the rich. He did his job, so he got some crumbs from the billionaire class, and he became a multimillionaire. So he gets to hang out in the rich enclaves in Martha's Vineyard. They don't want those folks to be there. Illegal aliens. They want those to be in the red states. So the red states can deal with that. So they can figure out how to feed and house and all the different things that come with massive waves of people just showing up into little towns of 10,000 or so. You deal with that. We are gods. We don't have to deal with these things. We just sit on our perches from on high, and we will coordinate the mass movement and remaking of cultures and traditions, and we'll mix these people with these people. We'll just do whatever we want. We are gods, and don't you ever make us do anything ourselves directly. We are the micromanagers. We're the central planners. That's how they act. That's how they act. Christina Pushaw from Ron DeSantis' office shows a video clip of a Martha's Vineyard Democrat saying she says, we don't have housing for 50 immigrants. And Christina Pushaw says, don't the Obamas have a 10-bedroom mansion there that will fit half of them? But they don't like this kind of they don't like their hypocrisy being exposed. That's why they say, "Oh, it's not Christian." What do you mean? How is it unchristian to send someone on an airplane to a more wealthier, privileged area of America? That's actually, if these people who live in those communities are actually kind and bleeding heart as they say they are, That's actually a kind gesture because you're actually sending folks, if they're in dire need, to areas that will have way more economic excess savings and capital to allocate to their flourishing in those communities, neighbor to neighbor. That's what the egalitarian myth is all about, right? That's what they sell us every day on their programs, that they're just there for humanitarian reasons. In terms of the leftist projects, they're just there to do what's right no matter what. Love trumps hate, right? Hate has no home here unless you show up from a red state from an airplane ride and you're an illegal alien. You're fine to call them an undocumented person when they're in Texas or Florida, but once they show up in your backyard, oh, we don't have any room for the illegal alien. See how it changes, right? See how their hypocrisy is smoked out of the disinformation campaign surrounding their dumb ideology. Very vicious ideology that's very paper thin in terms of legitimacy. And so they cannot stand stories that highlight that.